So this is for the dating, but this is for guys and girls. We're going to talk about expectations versus illusions. Expectations. When you're going in and dating someone, or even like talking online, whatever, what is your expectation? What are you going in with the expectation of? Are you expecting to connect, make friends, see if you guys can like communicate? Like, what is your realistic expectation? Because I watch that shift and it amazes me. As soon as there is a connection, I watch where similar patterns, similar things that person might do trigger old wounds. They trigger us in somewhere where we had been hurt before, had pain. And instantaneously, I can watch something that is beautiful, that has potential of being a connection, a friendship, whatever, and watch either party, male or female, create that potential illusion of what it could be in their head, and then already start playing out how the past person who triggered that same thing hurt them. And then your past pains are now getting blamed, given, added to somebody that didn't even do anything to you. I don't know, but sometimes I watch where we create the whole scenario of how bad it can get before you even get past the first date. Guys, why can't we be in the moment and enjoy things for what it is and create friendships? Because everybody comes into our life for a reason. So if there is a beautiful connection, but something triggers you, go home and dig into what it is that is triggered. See what you need to heal. See what you need to feel and dig into. Because the whole point of learning a lesson, you're gonna be triggered with it again to see if you actually learned it. So of course you're gonna get triggered with something that is another potential of something. Of course, to see if you've learned it. It's like taking a test. You studied for the test, you went through it, you did all of the work for it, but when you actually take the test of if you actually learned it, you fail because you run from it, create an illusion in your head of something that hasn't made it past the first date or second or third or whatever. Because I know you all know what I'm talking about. When you all of a sudden, you feel like you connected with somebody and they disappear. You had an amazing time on a date and they disappear. You had amazing times on dates and they disappear. In those moments when that happens, I challenge you, the person on the opposite end, don't go into it's you and your self-worth issues. Them disappearing, one, they aren't man enough to actually speak up and say, or woman enough to speak up and say what actually happened. Because for me, I'm looking for one person, which means 99.9% is not going to be it. So I can easily say that I think we could be great friends, but you're not the one that I'm looking for. But that's okay, because that's one in the whole world. So don't take that as an insult. Take it as a beautiful thing that I still want to be friends, because I don't even allow tons of people in my world. I am protective of my space. So don't go down the rabbit hole and beat yourself up if someone disappears and everything on you, if they aren't able to speak their truth. That's their own journey. That's their own self-worth. That is not attached to you. So stop beating yourself up. Stop creating the illusion, though, too. The ones of you that when there is potential, Don't create it to be so big and scary before you're able to just communicate and be able to just have fun first. Because sweet freaking Jesus, there's a long way from like the dating point to like marriage and all of that, where people have the scary, oh, I was hurt here before and all of that. That is a big distance and gap to work towards. Can we at least just have fun in the middle? Can we see how they show up as a friend? Can we make friends? We might not on both ends end up here, but there could be something beautiful in between. There could be something beautiful and great friendships in between there. We are killing so many potential people that would be amazing people in our worlds, and friends and friendships and lessons that we could learn and all of it, because here we are triggered in fear about something all the way over here. And we think of all of the reasons why we're going to protect ourselves to not get hurt like that again. Instead of telling yourself you learned that. You're better now. When we know better, we do better. So, the illusion from point A to point B. Let's like not create that and just be happy in the moment. Take it day by day. Do not plan out the future. Do not name future babies. Do not think of the divorce and how it's all going to end up, because guess what? I have had amazing connections and amazing people come into my life that were only in my life for a month, but I wouldn't change a freaking thing. They ignited something, they stirred something, they triggered something, they helped me grow in something. It was beautiful for the time it was meant to be. Let love flow. Medea says it beautiful. It's like people are like trees. You have a few that are roots, and then you have branches. Branches can be broke off and all of that, but we like cling to them. But if it is like meant to go, let it go. When we are attached to the outcome and think if it's not going to be forever, it's not worth doing, that is a reflection on yourself. You're saying you're not worth having connections or anything unless it is lifetimes worth. You're not worth having fun and happiness in the meantime until you meet that person. But did you know that you won't meet that person if you don't learn the lessons along the way to fill the gap to that, magical unicorn? So, can we just like stay out of our heads and our past pains? And when we're triggered, dig into it. Don't run from it. Don't run from the beautiful whatever it was that triggered it, because one, they're blaming it on themselves now, which stop blaming it on yourselves, because remember, it's their journey. If you're not communicating it, then you probably should, because if not, a person is creating their own story on why you disappeared based on their past pains and their past hurts and their self-worth. So, in this dating world, I ask that we be authentic and say, you're not that one person I'm looking for, but I could see us being great friends. Not that one person I'm looking for. And you never know, because that person that's a friend could grow into something. But if you run and cut it off at the beginning because you're planning for here, you might be screwing yourself on amazing connections in your world, meeting amazing people that can help grow you into a better person. I just wish that we could leave our past relationships and heal them before we date in the first place. But sometimes we don't know it's there until it's triggered. So when it's triggered, don't take it out on the next person. Do your work to heal it within you fill your own goddamn holes. Do your own maintenance. Because I'm watching women shrink and give, overly give, to men that were hurt in past relationships. When you overly give love to someone who has been the one who overly gave in the last relationship, they don't even realize it, but they just start taking and taking, which is against their normal nature, but you're creating a narcissist in that moment. Just FYI. So when you are overly giving, because women, we do that. We see them in past pains and what they went through, and we give in the next one, but then they don't know how to show up because we haven't taught them that we expect reciprocal. We expect love and attention and responses and all of that in return, because you're giving them passes. So let's not create narcissists. We don't need any more of those. Let's not overly give and acting like we don't ever need anything in return. Let's give them actual truth and reciprocity. Like, I expect this and I will do this. It's an equal energy exchange. This whole all take thing and this whole all give thing isn't healthy and isn't helping anyone heal either. Creating narcissists is just making it worse for the next person that tries to date that person with some crazy expectations of all giving, because now they're like a succubus. They were filled by you over giving. So now they are constantly needing it because they didn't realize that they had holes that they needed to be filled. They didn't allow, the triggers never happened because you weren't your authentic self. So now they're going into another relationship. If that person isn't going to fully just, give all their energy to them, all of a sudden there's triggers going off everywhere and they're freaking out and they create the illusion. And that is how we are perpetuating the problem, because we shrink. Guys or girls, when we're shrinking and overgiving, you are creating someone who is broken in the last relationship to become the narcissist in the next relationship and be the succubus. So for all of mankind and anyone in the dating world, let's stop doing that. Let's be our authentic selves. Ask people to show up. Actually, if we have triggers, let's heal that shit. Let's do some work on that. And let's stop creating the facade and being scared of something that could happen without enjoying any of the loveliness in between. Just a thought. Just a pattern that I've been seeing that apparently needed to be talked about. So, the actual reality versus our illusions that we create. What are our expectations when we meet someone? Are we being present in the moment, or are we creating the illusion? Do you know what you're looking for, or are you saying yes to any person that asks you out? Do you know what your unicorn list is? Have you created a unicorn list of what you at least don't want to know when it shows up? Otherwise, you haven't learned your lesson, and it will come up again to trigger you. So be prepared. Because for me, when you learn the rules to the game, I know where the boogeyman is around the corner. I know that if I find someone that I have a connection with and meets a lot of shit on the unicorn list, they're gonna trigger shit in me from some past pain, but that's not them that's doing it. I'm not putting what that past person did to me on them. I'm going, oh my goodness, that triggered me. I need to figure out what I still haven't addressed, what I still haven't healed, what I still need to work through. It's not them, it's us. Stop blaming, stop creating, and stop bringing our past relationships into the new ones. Stop shrinking. Be who you want to be all day, every day, in any date or any conversation you have. Don't ever not speak up when something is triggered. Don't ever shrink because you think it is something that they will not be able to understand. Because really, is that your person? Are you wasting time if you can't speak up about something? Because that's probably a past pain of thinking you might be too much because you might have been too much for someone else. But does that mean we're telling them that they aren't able to show up? Are you even giving them a chance? Are you even giving yourself a chance, or are you shaming yourself to shrink before you even see the reaction? Just a thought. And guys, stop with the muscle pictures and the gym and shit. I mean, they're great and all. I like to know that you have like that and everything, but it's not what I'm looking for if I'm scrolling through. I want to actually read your profile and get to know you. So have some of your fun pictures on there. Show me where you're actually getting out, what you enjoy doing. Same thing with you ladies. Stop putting only filtered selfies on there. Do you have anything else in your life that lights you up? Hopefully a guy that you date wants to know those things too. Just saying. Otherwise, they're probably not your person. Love you guys.